The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant. Slay the competition, cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or?
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
Lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the final Korner Booth pregame and final Korner Booth episode of the year of 2023. It's really fucking scary to think about when you. Our next show will be January 2nd, 2024. At wild to me. Awesome day, as you can tell. I just absolutely demolished a slice of pizza during the intro because, you know, I can't time out things for shit. I'm just happy we started on time today. At least most of us were on time. A certain member of our show is a little late, so I got to give him some ribbing for it. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, joining me is my co-host, the handsome, the TikTok's famous Mr. Matt Ordazzo. No, wait, that's Kelsey Coyne.
Yeah, definitely not the handsome one. That's for sure. I definitely replaced.
I don't like
we took a step down in handsomeness on the show this week. I'm sorry, Matt.
Took a step up in comedy, though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is the co-host of the always funny and always informational high-low sports with our fellow Korner Booth friend DJ Stewart. Also joining us from north of the border, north of the wall, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite Canadian, a Yankees Trojans fan and the host of the 1420 Sports Bar, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Radlinsky.
Jared, how you doing tonight?
I am great, Brent. I appreciate you coming on as well. It's always fun we have you on. Always. I also figure with your college football takes, because you don't hold back, I'm kind of interested also with your Trojans making a statement last night. Definitely,
it was a big game. We'll get into that a little bit. But is there anything more anticlimactic, and Kelsey could probably agree with me here, than bowl games that don't mean anything? Honestly, like, it was fun to watch it, but that's anticlimactic stuff that's on TV right now. Players on
overtime. No, I agree. Unless they go to overtime, I'm pretty bored with them.
Yeah.
Especially when you give me the Kellogg's El Paso Sun Bowl, I don't want to be involved in that one.
Yeah, it's an odd situation. We'll get into that a little bit later for sure.
Join us from the West Coast, not the best coast, but he's a fun dude. The host of the Backup to the Backup podcast, a avid Giants fan, Warriors fan, and Phillies fan. That one still puzzles me. Ladies and gentlemen, my man, Big Nate.
What's up, fellas? Hope we're doing well, man. I don't pay attention much to these bowl games either. I mean, the only reason I do is because my NFL team is a new quarterback, so I'm just scouting the games and seeing which guys stand out for my Giants. So, yeah, that's my only reasoning for watching these college football games. But other than that, I could care less.
You're basically looking at who's going to throw 3 interceptions against Kelsey's Cowboys and 2 against my Eagles. Got it.
Yeah, damn right.
And yet those 3 interceptions will not result in a loss for the Giants next year.
Woohoo!
An even split. Sounds about right. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us now with a sort of suspect hat on. This goober was, of course, late for our show. If he's late again, I might demote him back to intern for a day. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 beers down, 10 toes up, a.k.a. Blackout Chrissy.
What's up, dude? I'm be honest with you. I'm a little banged up tonight. I ran home. I ran upstairs to get my laptop, came back down. I'm so out of shape. I'm out of breath right now. I look like the little kid from Where the Wild Things Are. If you ever read that book as a kid.
That's not what the head was going.
Did not have a beard, so
I an airplane meme that I was thinking of.
I widowy got the crown. So I'm ready to rock, dude. Let's go.
Even though you're back in last place in the picks competition?
I was about to say. Yeah.
I'm widowy about to be in the top 2 again. We'll see.
Well, you have 3 people to beat. So, I mean, there's only 2 other people to beat. So you really don't have far to climb.
Yeah,
see,
dude.
next year we
Still
might
down
open up to like the like rotating guest, of course, because Kelsey always boasts that he always wins the guest competition every year. So
Somebody's
maybe
got
we'll
to
do maybe do like a guest. We'll do like a guest pool or something like that for Kelsey, DJ, and the boys, and whoever wants to join can do it. We'll do like a picks comp every week or something.
All right. So I go 7-0 in the first week or 6-0 in the first week and then never show up again.
Dude, I would probably be
Well,
winning.
you submit your picks every week. That's what happens. You can't like dip in and out. So when Matt does something fugazi when I ask him to pick the games for me and ask us to do Jets Browns with Aaron Rodgers questionable and Deshaun Watson out with sexual assault allegations again, then we're gonna have to talk about Matt, you can't be I was gonna see who broke first.
No. So funny thing about that. So if anybody missed, obviously, Amari Cooper's game last week, I'm sure we'll discuss that here momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
He was named the MVP, the Nickelodeon most valuable player, which then results in you get shipped slime and you're supposed to take a video of you getting slimed. Instead of sliming himself, he chose the only quarterback in Cleveland that is allowed on Nickelodeon, Joe Flacco, to then do.
Joe Flacco is elite. I don't care what anybody says. Elite quarterback.
Second in the comeback player of the year award. Easily.
Yep. Behind DeMar Hamlin, who
he should be first.
Who had his own ambulance, which is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, DeMar. I think DeMar is just no doubt about it. First.
Yeah.
He
doesn't deserve it though.
He's
Obviously.
alive is a miracle in itself. Somebody's like one of the guys I think was on I can't think of the podcast right now. I know one of the guys' name was Philippe. I can't think of his name. Oh, Caps Off. They were talking about this a few months ago. They're like, they're going to give it to DeMar, but it's like he's played 2 snaps. Am I an asshole for saying he doesn't deserve it because he played 1 snap and then stopped playing?
Not an asshole at all.
2 flags on the 2 plays too.
I was saying because Tua's brain got mushed in last year, and I know he was second in comeback player of the year. So I mean, given that, DeMar literally died on the field and came back to life. It's one of those storylines where it's hard to argue again because the dude literally like I said died on the field and then came back. But
is it hard to argue because what did he do?
Obviously,
yes, he came back from that. I get that.
No,
exactly. That thing, but I get that's something in itself.
You're right. You're right.
What
There's
did he
the
do?
other point. Yeah, exactly. Hey. What did he do? Is the other? Yeah. No, you're right. Again, like I was saying, Tua could win it because
comeback player of the year, not comeback guy of the year. Like you got to play to be a.
I don't think anybody
player's going to play. Whoever sang that song, like one of those deals, right? Like what did he do?
Yeah, you're right.
Just because somebody, like if a guy had a broken leg, can never play again, and he came back to give it to him, like does the injury and the medical assistance does that factor into what it is? I don't think it should. That's just me. I'm just saying.
If Ryan Shazier ever walked back on a football field, I think he gets it too. Just for walking.
He cheated on his wife, but that's a whole other ballgame.
Well, we literally just talked about Deshaun Watson on the show, so obviously our standards in the NFL are extremely low.
They were talking about this the other day. Like pro athletes have just like it's just a different level. Like if a pro athlete's in a healthy relationship for their entire career post, it's like, dude, you must be a stand-up guy. Either that or she's got some dirt on you.
Look, all I gotta say is we've punished people for betting worse than we've punished anybody who did anything legally or semi-illegal or worse.
He's just crazy. He's throwing prop bets for the Jaguars now.
He's landed all my bets. That's all I care about.
That betting thing might be the storyline of 2023 with like right across sports, whether it be baseball, hockey, football, that with the guys who get suspended for different things. But then every league is so tied in now with sports betting, no matter, you can't turn a game on without it being about sports betting and how they can get rid of guys and have them suspended, but in the same breath say, well, it's okay for this guy, but it's not okay for this guy, and how they advertise it. And I think it's one of the biggest storylines of actually 2023. The way it's gotten a bit, for me, it's gotten a bit much at times. We're like, holy, can we just stop with the betting and just watch the game? It's one of those things.
Yeah,
Well, here's the crazy thing, right? Everyone has got a fucking sports betting. Kelsey, you and DJ every fucking week send me a freaking link for Fanatics' thing. I'm like, they're a sports memorabilia website, and they got a sports book. ESPN, ESPN may have the scummiest one of all. Apparently, they don't pay off half their fucking bets. The rumor is,
Who's that?
ESPN book,
ESPN
bet apparently is like the worst. They're worse than ScamDuel.
No, I mean, I agree. But here's the biggest issue of all of that. Fanatics, you mentioned them. They're kind of the priority here. But you look at DraftKings, Caesars, all these places, all these companies also have sports books in stadiums. And they get shares, just like they get for jersey sales, on every bet placed in the stadium that goes directly to the team. I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to look at a situation like in Green Bay this weekend, which I imagine we'll get to here shortly, with Yair Alexander. Who's to say the Packers aren't trying to, pad their bottom dollar with a suspension, no matter what the facts are around it right now, but a suspension that then results in players who go to the sports book. So,
I mean, listen, that still is the dumbest story I've read this week, and I work in the landscaping and hardscape industry where I see some of the dumbest project fails of all time. If you ever want to see a funny video, just watch OSHA fails on YouTube or masonry OSHA fails on YouTube, and you see some of the worst. I saw a guy suspending himself trying to put up thin stone, which is what I sell, on the side of a house, being suspended by a rope and his belt loops. And I said, you know what? No, I don't care what I fuck up today. I'm not the biggest idiot in the world.
Keeping the cost down, though. I don't know.
There he is. What, buddy?
Yeah, he's right. I mean,
I know.
exactly what Brent was
100%.
100%.
You know what the problem is? Everyone's gonna label this. It's like, oh, you have to do it like Alex Smith. No, Alex Smith came back and played a full fucking ball game.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I mean, DeMar Hamlin literally had a customized ambulance in his name. I mean, he really didn't do anything significant as for a comeback player of the year, as far as these other guys who, again, like Tua, who got his brain mushed in last year, and I mean, now he's playing a full season. He's not having a terrible year. He's having a decently good year, but yeah, no, I 100% agree with that take. He hasn't done anything crazy for me to say, hey, that's comeback player of the year.
I think we're also trying to compare him with superstar players. DeMar Hamlin, prior to the injury, was a backup who
he was only in because
of two injuries in front of him.
I think Micah Hyde was out with a concussion or something stupid like that.
And Jordan
There's
Poyer
a good chance that DeMar Hamlin didn't go what he was going through. I wouldn't know his name.
I wouldn't either.
I agree.
There wouldn't be many people that would.
Right.
But that's the thing. He'd comeback player of the year. The goal, the just phrasing of it is you come back equal to or better than your previous form. And it's safe to say.
Then he did. He came back to be a better
if you want to go like a legal definition,
mission accomplished.
We're good.
Fringe player. Good. Done. See you later. Whatever.
Fringe player that now plays on every punt. Now he plays a whole game. Whether or not people like that or not, that's a different conversation. But he actually gets in games now, not because of injury. And is beating the purpose of comeback player of the year. So, I mean, that's why, he didn't do a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. He's not Tua as an MVP candidate, but he is a guy that is now surpassing what he was doing prior to the injury.
I think he should get his own category because he literally died in a football field and came back. I think that falls in its own category. If you really want to give this guy an award, I think it comes with its own set of rules. You want to do it like some kind of foundation award where every player every year earns something for showing fearlessness on the field or something like that, then do that. But honestly, I agree with Brent and Josh, and honestly, most of us today, it's not like, he hit the legal book definition of it, but at the same time, it's not as big of a story as Joe Flacco literally coming off the bench, and he's probably going to lead the Browns to the playoffs. Let that sink in.
No, you're right. He's literally in his own category. He physically died on the field and came back to life. I mean, there's really no other I mean, there's no other person in the league besides him that's physically in that category. So yeah, if you want to start like a charity foundation or just have that,
So really, the paramedic's the MVP in that story.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I mean, they
Like, I
physically
hate to be that like this
Yeah.
guy. Like, I'm not downplaying
Yeah.
what happened there, but like, really, like the paramedics kind of played a bigger role than he did in that situation.
Yeah,
I get off.
It's just a weird story. I don't even. It's crazy how we even got to this part. We've been talking about Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
15 minutes was even on like our show right this morning that Chris worked so hard on.
Did he?
I mean, actually, he did. I
misspelled
texted him.
some
He
things.
actually wrote a couple sentences.
Yeah, but he misspelled some things.
But no, that means he's perfect for our show because I misspell everything.
dude. I mean, I'm the captain of typos. Or if Jarrett's the captain, I'm the assistant captain.
You're the viceroy.
No, he's the assistant to the regional captain.
Boom, Dwight Schrute.
I got 2
Here's
Snickers out of
the-
viceroy, so I appreciate the Snickers at least. Thanks, guys.
All right. So another thing we already touched on Jerry Alexander, so we'll skip that one. But
Well, no, I mean,
the Russell Wilson thing is what really has been like. I've been seeing a lot of this today, and I'm interested to see what you guys think about it because as Kelsey's internet goes in and out.
I'm back. Maybe.
All right, there we go.
I don't know what's happening.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Too much interference from the Browns game. 45 minutes away.
So we're talking Russell Wilson. Fellas, I want your input on this one. The fact of the matter is, if you guys are living under a rock, the whole thing with Russell Wilson is that he's being benched for the final 2 games of the season. When the Broncos have a medium chance, like a 50%, 40% chance of catching a wild card if they win out, which is a very real possibility. And he's being benched to prevent an injury clause or something of that sort on his contract because he wouldn't restructure his deal before the season or early in the season back in like October. So the Broncos, I'm sorry, wrong brown and orange team. It's just, not doing their shit. The Broncos are benching him for Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
Auburn legend.
Baylor legend. Auburn Phil Gap. I don't know.
Stopgap.
There you go. Thank you.
I was gonna say I do need a little. I'll take your guys' fantasy advice on this. I am in the championship in my league. I do have the Broncos defense, and I picked up the Chargers defense because I heard Stidham starting. Do I start Denver? They're at home, or do I start the Chargers? What would you guys take there? I know Bosa's out for the year, but again, it's Stidham over Wilson. I don't know how that's going to be.
I mean, Keenan Allen is coming back, though, from injury, so at least Easton Stick will have someone to throw to instead of Quentin Johnson's bum ass.
Might I suggest not going with either defense? Is that an option?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have that
any
many
other
options on the waiver wire, to be honest with you. It's all like bottom tier teams, so it's kind of like, again,
Nothing wrong with bottom tier teams. I mean, honestly, you could take a lot that are playing some really bad teams.
I mean, I don't want to. I hate crapping on my team, but the Eagles' defense is up there. They haven't been good fantasy wise. You have the Bears,
But they're playing the Cardinals.
And
that's true. Yeah, Gannon. Yeah, but I mean, the Eagles' defense last week had 5 points against the Giants, but it's like, again, like it's just the Panthers, the Bucs, the Patriots. I mean, there's not really that many options on the board here. I just went by highest projection, and they have the Chargers getting about 7.3 points projection as a defense. So I'm thinking about flipping out Denver for the Chargers, even though I'm sure Stidham is going to have a decent game or a bad game. I don't know. I'm kind of in a pickle here. I'm in a championship, so I'm doing a lot of tinkering.
Is Nick Benito back healthy for the Broncos? If he's not healthy, then yeah, sure, take the Chargers.
Let me see.
But if he's healthy, that dude's been playing out of his mind. Just a year after I predicted it. Stupid idiots.
I think they said he did practice. He did return to practice today. Well, yesterday. So
I'd take the Broncos.
Take the Broncos. I do have the Broncos in, so I might just roll with that. And they're home.
Justin Simmons. He's waiting for a pick.
I'll roll with the Broncos. Maybe you'll make yourself up for the Tulane pick.
Don't even start with me,
Why do you have to bring it up this time?
dweeb. God.
Yeah, I had to. You know,
Just remember, I would still be beating you in picks too.
That's true. That's
Sure.
true. I'm in dead last. I mean,
Then
I'm
again,
not.
so would Mason, but then he just kind of fell off the map and stopped talking to us.
That's fine. I mean, hey.
That's all right. As soon as Mason dropped that, I was on the top 3. That's
It's like
bad
getting
news for the rest of the league.
It's like getting a bronze medal when there's only 3 people playing, man. Come on.
King of a third world country with that Burger King hat. There you go.
That's
King of a
why
third
I
world
picked the
country.
crown, Brett.
I'm
Whopper,
really
Whopper, double
trying.
Whopper.
Right on. I'm the best of a shitty
Oh my
country.
God.
Right on. Way to go.
Damn right.
Anybody who knows my sense of humor knows that's not the reference I was thinking of with that stupid Burger King crown. We're not
Don't
talking about a
laugh.
certain airplane ride.
Oh my god.
We're not going to talk about it.
No,
Told you
we're
I
not
had a
going to
new
talk
hat,
about it.
Jared.
Oh my god! All right, so Russell Wilson, like thoughts on this Russell Wilson thing? As we've kind of rallied around and circled the drain for about 20 minutes. Speaking of drain, this one, I guess the Broncos season is going down one, but
I mean, I do think it's kind of stupid because I did saw a stat. I can't find it right now, but they said he has the same touchdown to interception ratio as Pat Mahomes. I mean, if that's not saying something, but like Russell Wilson hasn't been playing like horrific. Again, they're still in playoff contention. I don't really get this shit. I don't. I know Sean Payton's making the executive decision, but I just don't get it. I don't know.
By the way, he actually has a better touchdown to interception ratio than Patty.
Patty? Oh yeah. I mean,
No. Russ has a better one than Patty.
yeah. Okay. So I mean, if that's not telling you anything, then
No, but he
why
has
sit
a
him?
poor season. Look, let's not. It's not like Russ, the Danger Russ, whatever he wants to call himself, the Russell experience. I don't even get it anymore. Anyways, that Russ sucks. We can all agree that that's the case. The guy is 500 yards away from his total from last year, where he had a god awful season, and he's still 500 yards short of that. Outside of Cortland Sutton, he honestly can't get any other receivers realistically involved. It's a lot of pieces and parts. That's frustrating. I think it's safe to say that Russ was overpaid when he went to Denver. I think we can all accept that now. It's been 2 years. I called this when he got traded. This is a terrible option for the Broncos.
I was with you too, buddy. I was on your show.
Right.
We talked about this.
This just continues to reinforce it that he was a terrible option and he's overrated when he tries to be a playmaker. When he is a game manager and just plays within the system and doesn't stand back in the backfield for over 5 seconds and welcome a rush, he's successful. That's the most frustrating thing about him is he just stands there and welcomes a rush. It's impossible to block if you're an offensive lineman. It's impossible to continuously run freestyle routes and hope you get the ball if you're a receiver. It's just not a successful offense. That's why they run well. When they run well, they do well. But if they don't run well, they don't do well.
There you go.
I think this is refreshing to see for once that a player didn't win out and a group of players didn't win out. Usually in whatever sport you're talking about, the coach is usually the one to go if things don't work out. And Peyton's he was the one, he dug in his heels. He probably wanted his own guy in there after year one. It hasn't worked out. And over the course of this season, my co-host Dave's a big Broncos fan, and we've been on and off the bandwagon a little bit with old Rusty there. And Peyton won out, and he said, "You know what? It's me or him, and we can find a way out of that contract. Yeah, it's going to cost them, I think, what is it, Nate, $85 million for the 2 years, and be a cap hit. But they'll find a way out of that. But getting another coach and continue to get new coaches every year, that's a recipe for disaster. Ask every team who gets a new coach every year, the Carolina Panthers, right? You keep going to new coaches, and new coaches, it never works. Whereas Peyton's the guy there. Peyton has his winning pedigree. Yeah, Wilson he had that run with Seattle, but how much, like you said, how much was that game management and not Russell Wilson being the guy, right? And now that finally a coach won out. Because even Peyton said, I can't get rid of the entire offensive line. I can't get all new wide receivers this year. So if we replace one guy, that's a lot easier than replacing everybody else. And that's exactly what happened. And it's gonna cost them because they won't be able to trade him. Like, you're not gonna be able to trade that contract.
Well,
There's no
they
way.
will, but they're gonna have to eat some of it, like kind of like the Colts, like when the Colts got Wentz, or when who else? I think didn't the Texans have to eat a little bit for Watson?
When Nick Foles' contract was eaten.
Yeah, Nick Foles' contract was completely devoured.
And now you're seeing so many teams win without paying quarterbacks a huge amount of money, right? So they're like, okay, well, why would we give this guy $40 million, whatever it is, a year, when we can find a way to manage a couple of years? Because them being whether they're 7 and 8 right now, I think they are, them being there was kind of like they weren't going to be a playoff team anyways, and they almost got too many wins this year to Peyton's liking. So maybe sitting Wilson out and trying to get a couple more losses just to say, okay, you know what, we're in a rebuild mode, draft picks, whatever they want to do. It might be one of those things where, like, you know, it's time to go.
Yeah, and Denver's going to be screwed for a while because, you know, when with the money that they're going to eat up with the release, regardless of what happens, because he's guaranteed $39 million in 2024, regardless of what happens, trade or being released or something like that. And I get it, you know, you don't want him to get hurt, so you don't pay him the money and whatever the case may be, and yada yada yada. And I understand the fact that, you know, Wilson isn't Sean Payton's guy, because we know Wilson signed that extension last year for $245 million, which is freaking ridiculous. And I know I'm not one to talk because my team, you know, doesn't have a good quarterback either. But at the same time, you know, the culture in Denver is just very questionable. That's what I think. I mean, we've seen frustrations where it was Wilson being yelled at by Payton, or it was the whole Jerry Jeudy situation, or anything like that. And then, you know, they were off to a rough start this season. Denver was, you know, they were like 1-5 to start the year, and then their defense, in my opinion, kind of led the way to this winning record they have right now. And look, if they think that Russell Wilson benching him and releasing him is the solution to them finding their way back to success, great. If they think Stidham's the guy, great. You know, but it's just, the consequences of this extension is just, or the contract in general is just ridiculous. And, you know, they're going to be heavily penalized for it. Wilson, shit. I mean, a few teams could use him. I mean, the Giants could. I hate to keep bringing it up, but they could use Russell Wilson because, you know, there's no better option out there unless there's, you know, someone's in the draft. But
I'll send you Dak for all of your draft picks.
We can do all of our wide receivers. Because
I will happily take Isaiah Hodgins and on the spot. And Jalen Hyatt. Okay, all right.
We're not using it anyway.
I will take whatever. I'm okay with that.
We're not using Hyatt anyways. So like we had 0 catches against Philadelphia, and so we had Mr. Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson.
Only successful receiver you've had in the last since Odell left.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's like, you know, and it's like, you know, wherever Wilson goes, is he going to have much success? Like you guys mentioned, he's literally just a game manager at this point of his career. And it's like, he's a veteran guy. You know, you would rather go, you know, younger and more potential at this point, because you know what you get with Wilson if you were to pick him up. But, you know, Denver made a huge mistake, and, you know, they're at the record with the record they have right now, they may not be able to get a top quarterback in this year's draft unless they trust for example, a JJ McCarthy or a Bo Nix.
That's why winning too many games is a problem, right? They won too many games when they should have just mailed it in. When they got blown out, what was it, by Miami, 75-20 or whatever it was in week 3 or 4, they should have just went right there. So you know what? Playoff teams don't give up 75 points. Mm-hmm. That's when they should have said, you know what? Let's look at next year. Let's start losing football games. Let's call it good, because if we can fall into a win or two, and then you had Bronco fans believing that they were a team a little bit and make the playoffs, because making the playoffs is all like just making it every year. It can lull a team into mediocrity for a long time, because if you just get in, you're 10-7, 9-8, and you find a way in, lose in the first round, lose a wild card game. What like really long picture? It gets you. It doesn't even get you a home playoff game most of the time. It gets you just another game, and so you get one more game than the Carolina got. So what the hell is that? Like, really, big picture.
I think
you're no closer.
And it's weird because the NFL they always like preach like there's always, I honestly think out of all the pro sports, the NFL has more parity than a lot of other ones. The biggest problem is, though, it's like every year there's really only about 6 teams that could actually have a shot at winning the Super Bowl. 100%. Very rarely do you get that 8-8 New York Giants team steamroll, or 9-7 New York Giants team steamrolling towards the undefeated Patriots, or I believe it was the Packers the year they won. They were 10-6 and they were the 16th wild card. Like, very rarely do you get that combination. So, to Brett's point, that line between good, great, and then mediocrity, the Broncos are kind of just like trying to punch their way through mediocrity and the good. And now you're looking at it like they just lost to the Patriots, and now their season's shot, and now everyone looks bad with this whole Russell Wilson thing. So I think team expectations are always something weird that teams have to play with early in the year, and now you're seeing like teams like the Broncos, and you're seeing the Giants. I don't know what the fuck the Giants are doing. Why play Tyrod Taylor? You are trying to get a better draft pick. He might actually win you a fucking football game.
No, but that's the thing. I see, because I guess we'll move on to this topic, and I want to talk about it first. It's just like
perfect transition.
If we were to
call that a segue, Nathan.
Well, there you go.
Not good. Trust me.
I think for me, if this decision to start Tyrod could have been made, you know when the Giants came out of the bye week and they were on that 2-game winning streak, and I was like, okay, Tyrod Taylor's coming back from the injury reserve. He was the better quarterback before he got hurt. Let's put him in. I think Brian Daboll was just like, okay, this young kid in DeVito won us a couple games. A lot of fans like him. Let's just play him and see how it works out. And look, the Green Bay game was great. Like, I was fucking going ballistic because this young guy from New Jersey is leading my team to fucking wins and a chance at the playoffs, right? And you go, and then, you beat the Packers, and you have the Saints. And I say, okay, if we beat the Saints, then, hey, we head into this past week's game against Philadelphia. We got a shot at the playoffs. Okay, and this false hope, right? It kind of fucked all of our mind, or especially mine, fans, my mindset, because it was like, Tyrod was always the better quarterback, and the fact that you're going to him now instead of going to him a few weeks ago, it's just very confusing to your locker room, because it's like, were you trying to win, or were you just hoping that you would win with the guy that is inexperienced and not a lot of people knew who the hell he was until the whole storyline about whether it was living with his parents or being the kid from Jersey and whatnot. He was never the better quarterback than Tyrod, and we've seen what DeVito is these past couple of games, especially against Philadelphia, especially against the Saints. He's always going to be the practice squad QB3 emergency quarterback who has to come in and do some work. He'll be like at most serviceable, but for a team that has been dying for a quarterback since like Eli back in like 2012, 2013, no, this team needs a fucking quarterback. And this whole situation with the Daniel Jones or Tyrod or DeVito, it just goes to show this franchise is fucking garbage. And you go back to last year, and you guys mentioned it earlier about the playoffs and how these mediocre teams get into the playoffs. When they made it last year, there was hope for this year, thinking, okay, look, we made the playoffs. All of our guys are back. We're adding new stuff in, like a Paris Campbell and then Jalen Hyatt from the draft. Look, this team is going places. And that all went to shit in week 1 off the blocked field goal and in that rainy-ass MetLife Stadium when we lost to the Cowboys. Everything went to shit when that happened. So that just goes to show that
one play ends your season at game 1, you weren't going to have a very good season.
Exactly. And, of course, we beat Arizona after we beat Arizona like in week 2 after being down like 24. But that's not the point. The point is, this team, it sucks. This team stinks. And the fact that we're going back to what we should have done in the first place, it goes to show that this team doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And until they get their quarterback of the future, until they figure this shit out with Daniel Jones' contract, because they fucking signed into that big ass contract, all for what? Just to release him next year? Great. Now we're completely screwed money wise, just like the Denver Broncos. Pretty much, we're screwed in terms of our cap space because we signed this mediocre quarterback who we thought was the quarterback of the future to basically just be the most expensive backup in the NFL. Starting next season. So, but just I would have just kept DeVito in there. I would have been content with losing, even though the team wouldn't be content with it. But hey, I guess we want to start winning games and just put our draft position, I guess more towards the bottom than the top. So stupid.
There's kind of two ways to look at this, right? I kind of want to cap off the Broncos thing with this. Russell Wilson, he is due $37 million on the turn of the year. So the official end of the offseason and beginning of the new early season. That's when his $37 million for 25 turns from a injury guarantee to a full-time guarantee. So they can save $37 million if they cut him before. I think it's like May 1st or whatever that date is, March 1st, May 1st, one of the two. So that is something to look forward to. But you see two different philosophies with the same issue. You see the Broncos with Sean Payton, who thinks he needs a high draft pick, a top tier draft pick to succeed because they have very few draft picks, so they cannot miss. Right? That's kind of where he's at. On the flip side of this, you look at the Giants with Dabble, who is successfully, look at the Bills. They built that team through mid range to late round draft picks, and that were successful with that. And there's two theories to this, right? You have a lot more draft picks than the Broncos do, but also you've had success with it. So you see the two different theories, and it's important because he has also Saquon, and you have to keep him happy. That's a big thing. You also have to keep Sexy Dexy happy, and you have to keep Kayvon Thibodeau happy. Those are the big three that you have to keep happy for this team to be successful going forward, because you have to keep him in a contract. You have to keep him in friendly contracts. And so you see that those philosophies versus the Broncos, who have a bunch of for-hire guys that they don't care about really. Outside of a couple offensive linemen and their running back core, they don't really care except for Patrick Surtain or Justin Simmons. But those guys they don't care. They're getting paid a lot of money to hang out. And it's just, so you see two different philosophies on how to go about developing a team who's struggling, and it's interesting to see the two and which one's right, which one's wrong. What's the difference between a pick at 10 and a pick at 18? Not a whole lot. But the difference could be that your scouting team sucks. And so you have to get a top tier draft pick because there's more availability for that person to be scouted without your scout team being required to do it. Whereas at 18, you actually kind of have to dive in there and really pick out some of these diamonds in the rough for the first round draft pick. I mean, yeah, there are obviously guarantees, but there's a lot of questions when you get in that. And that's kind of where you see the different philosophies, where Dabble loves his the team that goes out and scouts all his players. Sean Payton doesn't have that right now. So that's kind of part of all of this.
And it's all about picking the right guys. And I will mention the Giants one last time before we move on.
I got something about the Giants you might, but go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say that this whole situation could have been prevented if Justin Herbert declared for the draft as early as he could, because the Giants were right there wanting to get him, but he stayed back in college for one more year.
How would you wish that on somebody? That's horrible.
Nobody wanted to go to New York.
I'm just saying, Herbert could have been a Giant. Instead, we drafted Jones.
Exactly. That's my point. Why would you wish that on somebody?
He wouldn't have lost to Bo Nix and Auburn if he had just gone into the draft that previous year. And he wouldn't have had that knee injury coming out of college.
With the Giants, Taylor's a free agent this year, so he's gone. He's good as gone. So if they would have ended up playing DeVito for a couple more games, he ends up winning a couple more games, and then they don't start him next year when Jones is healthy, then they have a whole nother problem, because the people in New York would have been burning down MetLife Stadium if Jones comes out and goes 0-2 and they're paying him $40 million a year and Tommy DeVito's having chicken parm on the sidelines not playing, then you have a hell of a problem with the fan base. And that's why DeVito's not playing now. Like, that might be conspiracy theory central, but I think that's 100% true, because you can't have a quarterback making $800,000 starting over top of a guy who's making 45 million. You just can't. Like, it just doesn't work that way. And that's why DeVito is sitting right now, because if he wins out and they make the playoffs and then Jones comes in, like I said, starts 0-3, 0-4 next year, which he's going to, then what? Then what do you do?
It's the Russell Wilson, Matt Flynn situation.
Yeah. 100%. Also, they just created the most marketable player on their team for next year. I should say second most marketable player on their team.
And we might not even bring him back. That's the thing. We might not even bring him back because
that's stupid.
Yeah.
But
service was good enough. Stand with the clipboard. He'd be more than that's a pretty good gig. I'd trade it for in a heartbeat. If I can make X amount of dollars a year, stand on the sidelines, whatever, get some service time here and there.
He's a Paisan Charlie Batch. That's what he is.
No, he's 100%. A Paisan Chase Daniel.
There you go.
Do it forever.
If Chase Daniel already looked kind of Italian.
He would do it forever.
DeVito is actually Italian. Like, he's just the actual Italian version of Chase Daniel. But no, let's. Nathan, you can probably back me up on this one. The Giants franchise, when it comes to their ownership, is all about their bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Period.
100%.
These are the same.
Clearly, look at their field. That kills
No,
injuries
these are the
every year.
same owners.
Yeah.
These are the same owners that gave a large popcorn to longtime season ticket holders, like 10-year plus season ticket holders. They gave a large popcorn to in a game that had 37 fans in it. That was their reward for being a longtime season ticket
Probably
holder.
with no butter.
We could
No,
shit on
exactly.
the Giants.
For the butter.
We could shit on the Giants just like the Eagles do every Sunday, all we want. But there's, I think at some point we have to move on. Quick announcement: the winner of the Corner Booth Christmas Party giveaway is our very own Chris Prince. Congratulations, Chris! I ran the number of generations while Kelsey was on his biblical level rant. I ran it. Listen, I ran it 5 times. His number hit 3. Chris wins.
Jeez.
Let's go, Chris. Not me.
Congrats, Chris.
Thanks,
I was
guys.
gonna say, yeah. If it's blackout, Chrissy, we need to rerun the numbers.
No, it's not that,
Mission
jabroni.
collusion.
Oh, it's not me. Oh, I thought it was Chris Prince because I thought you said you saw the hat.
No, that
All
was
right, no, you're in timeout now. See, this is why he was the perfect intern now co-host of the show because he fits how much a bunch of degens we are. It's perfect.
He needs to be in timeout for being late to the show, anyways.
Well, I mean, listen.
I'm the worst.
See, so my boss, shout out to my boss at my day job over at Delgado Stone, my boss Mike. Ironically, both my bosses are named Mike. It's really funny. He said to me, because he gave me shit, he goes, we were 5 minutes late one day because Chris took forever to get on the show. And he had a legit reason, but he goes, instead of just blaming this is when he was still an intern at the time, instead of blaming your intern, how would you start the show and let him join later? I'm like, I mean, I was also kind of behind too. I didn't do all the prep work. And he goes,
And there's the curtain reveal.
yep. And this is also the perks of having your boss at your day job watch your show every freaking Thursday.
Yeah, I told my bosses they could watch my show, and you know what they did? They turned it on, and they got mad that we were covering fantasy football after threatening to ban me from the fantasy football league. So you know what I did in return? I'm now winning their fantasy football league. So.
I drafted a Madden team instead of a fantasy team. That's why I didn't make the playoffs.
I did too. That's why I'm winning their league.
Yeah, no. I got burned by the horrible quarterback play of Tua and Joe Burrow and trying to pick that surprise.
You mean MVP versus always on the sidelines?
Yeah, no. What happened was I would start Burrow, Tua would go off. I'd start Tua, he threw a couple
only
picks.
had 3 games to start Burrow.
I know. I was already
How did
0-3.
you mess this up?
I was 0-3.
Tua literally put up 72, and I bet you he was on your bench, wasn't he?
Actually, no. I started him that game.
Oh, good, because that was
Nice.
3 games you had to choose for Burrow. I don't know how you
Yeah.
messed up the other
If
2.
this wasn't being
Week 4
recorded, I
against the
guaranteed
Broncos.
that 2 was on the bench. I
Week 4 against
guarantee
the
it.
Broncos, baby. First win of the season.
Jeez.
I also had DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert. My first fuck up was I never played Rashad. I didn't play Rashad White much.
That's a good mess up. You didn't miss out on much.
Until the end of the season. He's been having like a great last 4 weeks, but it didn't matter. It didn't make the playoffs. Anyway, so congrats, Chris. Chris, if you could DM me your email, we will send you the gift card via Nike.com in the next 48 hours.
I hope
Gotcha,
his
bro.
email is crownprince@gmail.com.
Blackoutchristy@AOL.com.
That's your real. If you change your email to that, you are a Corner Booth member for life. All right. I wanted to be, since in the spirit of it's still part of the holidays, I wanted to kind of bring up an interesting kind of topic. I've been seeing this trend on TikTok a lot and kind of got me thinking. First off, we'll lead into it. New Year's is Sunday night. So, fellas, how do you do New Year's? So, what is your usual tradition? Are you a bar person? Do you go to friends' houses? Do you host? Do you sit in a blanket and watch college football and nurse a bottle of Jack Daniels to sleep? Yes, that happened me one year. What is your New Year's like? I was actually injured that year, so I really couldn't go anywhere. I almost broke my ankle running sprints and basically had to miss my buddy's proposal. Yes.
LimeWire.
Oh, new email.
Do those boys even know what LimeWire is? That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
I
Chris,
don't
I
know
feel like you're
if
too
it's
young for LimeWire.
I am too. I'm still a minor to LimeWire. No idea.
I thought you were saying
LimeWire,
like steroid or
LimeWire was a life
something.
changer, in more ways than one.
yeah, LimeWire would not only nuke your computer with viruses, it would also give you really shitty versions of all your favorite songs before Apple Music or iTunes were a thing.
No, don't forget, it always started out with trapmusic.com every time.
Yeah. What a disaster.
Okay. The first album I downloaded on the album I downloaded on LimeWire was Jay-Z's The Black Album, and that was 2003, I think.
Why would that be the one you spend? You don't spend money on. That's the one you spend money on.
Well, I was also
Now
a
your
broke
secret
8-year. I was a
pussycat
broke
doll.
8. I was a broke 8-year-old using my buddy's laptop to get me songs onto my like.
Fine, but
Yeah,
when
I
you
was
bought the
poor.
Pussycat Dolls
Holy
album, you
shit.
spent money on that, didn't you?
I
messed
spent
up.
money
So
on it
you
later.
won hard
I
now.
think I'm trying to get a hold of the vinyl of it right now because it's my favorite music album of all time. So,
Dude, I have for Christmas I got like a bunch of like music plaques, like music. Like I got like albums. They were like an album like picture, and then I got like a picture frame around them. I got a shit ton of them. I got my favorite one. It's the Killers, Hot Fuss. If you guys know the Killers, the band.
why does it not surprise me you love the Killers?
Dude, they're amazing, dude. I went to the concert. First time I went to the concert last September.
Got
Greatest
white
time.
girl wasted.
I got banged up on a Tuesday night. Then I went to work, and they're like, "You look destroyed." College Dropout, okay.
Okay, pretty good album.
Okay.
Not a Kanye fan, but that was probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You know what, Chris? I'm actually disappointed. I would expect to see the Killers on the wall.
Yeah, I do have to hang them up. I have it here. Look.
See, I knew they'd be in the corner, just sitting there collecting dust.
That's where they'll sit for years.
Yep.
Oh wait, one of them fell. Jesus Christ.
Wait, I thought your mom's bachelor's degree was somewhere on the wall. Where the fuck did that go?
Dude, that's my mom's, dude. I'm not that smart.
That's what you just said. Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
You know how Chris does New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, how Chris does New Year's is literally in his name.
I'm already celebrating. I gotta grab another beer.
All right. So we know how Chris does New Year's. I end up going to some random friend's house every year. I have a couple friends who host. I usually kind of just play Russian roulette with whose party I want to deal with, and then see if I want to spend the night at their house or not, or if I want to just pretend to keep drinking and then start mixing in waters every 5 seconds. There was one year I made the fatal mistake of trying to outdrink a girl who was still in college. And I outdrank her, but then realized I was blackout drunk. On shots of Jack Daniels and about a 12-pack of Coors Banquet.
Damn.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and then I woke up at 4:00 in the morning. Half of us were all staying over. It was one of my friends' houses, and there was I think it was 26 at the time, and one of the girls had cranked the heat to 90 degrees in the bar room basement, and I was sweating like I was on Earth from Congress. You will never sober up faster than when you are sitting in somebody's house and you are sweating the booze out. By 4 a.m., I was sober enough to drive, and I just went home. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's why they tell you to sweat off the alcohol. It's the quickest way to get rid of it out of your blood.
But yeah, no, I'm generally a New Year's party goer at somebody's house and then either call an Uber back, crash there, sleep in my truck, whatever.
Dude, my quickest way to cure a hangover, literally, it was to sweat it out. So I would literally get banged up. Then the next day, I would mow the lawn, hot as hell, sweat out all the hangover, and then I'd be cool to drink again around 1 o'clock.
How's that work in the winter? Do you mow the lawn in the winter still?
No.
I can just see Chris out there still drunk mowing
no,
the lawn.
I take
shovel snow, maybe.
Yeah,
the snowblower.
Shovel snow. Yeah,
Shirtless,
not my neighbor's
walk
door.
around.
Hey, you need your driveway shovel.
Looking like
Why not
Uncle
just
Eddie
do it without asking? That would be the
Looking like
proper
Uncle
thing to
Eddie
do.
from
Start the new
Grizzly.
year off right
Yeah.
by shoveling your neighbor's walk, saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to be a better person this year in 2000 whatever year you were doing it. Say, I'm going to just shovel this person's walk without asking. They're not going to give you shit for it."
Brett, I got some jacked up resolutions, man. You wouldn't believe it. I think the one year, I think I said that I would drink less. and I would, I'd be pretty healthy by the following year. But I went to my doctor, and then he said, again, you need to lay off the drinking. And then I came home and I had a beer.
Need a new doctor.
I was
So you
super
want the opposite. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm with Brent on this one. You need a new doctor.
need a new doctor. Yeah, I do.
We're not quitters around here.
No, dude, I don't quit. Dude, I keep drinking.
Anyways, I gotta say,
New Year's Eve, Jared, like you asked, New Year's Eve. I used to be like go to a house party and everything else, but now the older I get, it's either stay at home and with the wife, or else we go out together to a place with a live band kind of deal, and then about 5 to midnight, that's usually when we call the Uber and say, okay, we'll shake hands, kiss babies, whatever. There's no babies in the bar, obviously, but go and catch a live band. No cleanup, no muss, no fuss, no nothing. And the thing about going to a friend's house, sometimes there's people there that you don't really care if they have a happy new year, and you're like, I don't want to talk to this person.
Go fuck yourself. Hope you have a horrible year.
So not to that extent a little bit, but you're like, you know what? I can pick and choose who I want to say happy new year to. Like when you go to a bar watching a band, whereas if you go to a house party, you're kind of obligated to shake every person's hand in that room. And I'm not doing it. Like I'm just not. So that's kind of how we've been doing it the last couple of years. It's been working out good because it's we got no kids, so you can go out and everything else. Yeah, you know what? That's good. Like I don't want to hang out with a bunch of kids because I'm 49 years old, and New Year's Eve to me isn't hanging out with at someone's PlayStation or whatever at 11 o'clock at night because daddy wants his game to work. That's kind of how we do things.
I mean, Brad, I kind of learned my lesson because besides the night of the Jack Daniels and the Coors Banquet 12-pack, New Year's was the last time I woke up at some random stranger's bed. So I will never, ever go out of control ever again.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You won't go blackout,
awesome.
Chrissy?
I will not go blackout Chrissy ever again on New Year's because of 1 year.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, listen, she was attractive, but also like she started speaking. I'm like, oh my God, your voice is terrible. How did I deal with you for the entire night?
Yeah, last year I think we were home by 12:17. Perfect, done. See you later.
I'm telling you, man, when you're drinking, she's probably an 8 or a 9, maybe.
Oh no, Chris. I don't have beer goggles looks wise. It's usually all the other things that I have I look past.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Dead man, good memories.
Laugh, like screechy level voice. If she's just a horrible human being, don't care.
He's out of this bar thing. So
I
hate this my internet. Jeez.
Yeah. All right. So Nate, you've been pretty quiet. What is I know you're on the younger side compared to all of you for being in college, but what is your New Year's? Are you a house party guy? Do you hit the bars? What's the word with you?
I'm so boring out of us five, man. I'm probably the most boring one. For me, it's just stay home with the family. Watch our neighbors fucking pop fireworks like there's no tomorrow. Watch the games that are on as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. We're pretty quiet around here. We don't do much, to be honest. So
I was gonna say the games are usually my pregame because usually if they're on New Year's Eve, usually I'm getting to my friend's house when the second game is just coming on. We'll watch that one get absolutely trashed, and then from like 11 to like midnight. That's usually when we play catch up and start socializing.
So that's the one thing. I'm in mountain time, so like the games start here like 5 o'clock, like the 7, like, and it's fantastic. The game's over by 9:30. Good. So then you can kind of all right. See you later.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic.
Last year sucked, man. Because what was that? The Georgia game ended literally at 11:58.
Yeah.
It was like what the shit, man. Like literally, my friend's like, "Why are you watching this game?" I'm like, I'm just enjoying it. Like I would socialize on commercial breaks, but I was going back because that was a fucking nail biter. But
yeah, dude. It's funny when I usually on New Year's or like when I get pretty messed up, I'll be texting like a couple girls, whatever. I'll try to get like creative. I'll be like, yo, hey, fuck zodiac signs. Do you like pulp or no pulp in your orange juice?
I feel like this is time to put him in timeout. I feel like we don't need to go any further.
I hit her. All right. Nope. You're done.
Anyways.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, no, what I was saying before my internet sucked is so when I turned 25, stopped going to the clubs, had a nice long-term relationship, got into the habit of having a nice quiet night, having a movie, having a nice night in there, cooking a nice dinner, That habit has continued, even though I'm perpetually single after that. So that's the tradition I keep up. I have a nice dinner, watch a movie, watch some football, call it a good night.
We're in the same boat.
Yeah,
Kelsey,
it's
we're in
good.
the
It's a
same
good
boat.
night. It's relaxing. I don't have to worry about going in the new year with like all these superstitions of having a bad year. I got all that knocked out. I'm good.
Exactly.
Well, I will say this: the 1 year I didn't stay awake for New Year's. It was the pandemic year, so that should tell you something.
I mean, I don't think I've seen the ball drop at midnight in a decade.
Fair enough. All right. Last but not least, for 2024, I want your bold takes. So we're gonna make them rapid fire. I'll start first. We'll do college football. The SEC will not win the national title next year.
Oh, that's tough because no matter what, they get in. But
it's not. I'm not saying they're not going to get in. I'm saying they will not.
But it's 12 teams next year, right? So that's
yes. This is why. Because I
forgot about that.
You're going to get at least one. You're going to get at least 3 ACC teams, 2 or 3 Big 12 teams or Big 10 teams, 1 ACC, maybe 2 Pac-12. No, sorry, 2 Big 12. And they're going to get like one group of 5 guy, and whoever the SEC favorite, they're going to play somebody tough second round and lose. And that's everyone's ball game. So I'm telling you right now, my bold prediction, we're going to try to make these rapid fire because we're kind of running. That Russell Wilson talk kind of ran long a little bit. My bold prediction is no SEC team wins the national title next year. Kelsey, go.
Jalen Daniel from Kansas wins the Heisman Trophy next year.
Nice. Brent, bold college take, go.
USC goes into the Big Ten and has an awful season. They win 5 games in what is a weak Big Ten. 5, and I'm a USC guy. They have a worse record than they have a worse record this year than or next year than they did this year. And the Big Ten's not that great.
All right, Nate, bold prediction for college football.
Syracuse will win more than 8 games because they have Kyle McCord now from Ohio State, so they'll actually do something.
All right. Chrissy.
Oh, Jesus, dude. I'm not that good at college football.
Exactly.
I'll just stick to my own team. I want to say Brian Kelly might be on the hot seat next year. 3rd straight year, might not make in the playoffs. I don't know.
All right.
Brian Kelly.
I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go NFL. The 49ers will not win this year's Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I think Sunday showed everyone, to quote Nick Bosa, the blueprint, how to beat them. You create chaos, take away the motions, all the razzle dazzle. Let's see the Brocket chip beat you 1-on-1. Kels.
NFL wise?
Yeah.
All right. Brian Flores will be a head coach for the Chargers next year.
Ooh. He gets his boy Justin Herbert finally.
Yep.
All right, Brent.
A Super Bowl, not this year, not in February 2024, but next season, Jerry World will have a Super Bowl championship. The Dallas Cowboys will learn from their mistakes they didn't get through this year, and next year's Super Bowl champion will be the Dallas Cowboys because they're close. They're really close right now.
This is when they always erupt, always blow it up, though. That's what I'm worried about.
The rapture. It's coming, folks. 2025. You heard it here first.
And then the next day, there's going to be a nuclear bomb on the world, but whatever.
Start stocking ammo, boys. It's coming. All right.
Happy.
All right, Nate. What's your bold prediction for 2024 NFL edition?
The Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South next year. Look, I know times are tough right now in Carolina, but just wait till next year, man. Another year of Bryce Young, a better coach than you, an actual coach that will stay longer than the season. The Panthers will win the South next year.
Well, if they stop having us 5 trying to block for Bryce, they might actually have a shot.
We would do better.
Probably. That's the worst part about that joke. Chrissy.
Can we speak for this year? right? Or this
It's
As long as it's 2024.
I just said that the Niners won't win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
This season,
All
so
right,
that's-
perfect. I think the Bills will get exposed in the playoffs again. So I think the Bills might be a second round exit.
You think the
9-6.
Bills are making the playoffs?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're 9-6.
Not really a bold prediction. That's kind of like a solid prediction.
Okay, well, it's solid and bold in my mind. Bold in my mind, solid
So
in reality.
let me get this straight. Chris makes bold predictions when he's sober. He's had a few beers. He starts talking with knowledge. I think we discovered the code.
Yeah,
2 beers max is all Chris is allowed.
Listen, there was also the time he couldn't count how many beers he had in his hands, and that was one of the best shows of all time.
I ran out of fingers that day.
All right. We'll make these two quick. We're going to go MLB. The LA Dodgers won't make it out of the first round
Oh, jeez,
because they're going to get swept by either Philly, Arizona, or Atlanta
That's fair.
because they didn't fix their fucking problem.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We will have another World Series without any of the top 5 teams. So you're not looking at the Braves, you're not looking at the Dodgers, you're not looking at the Padres, Yankees, or Red Sox involved.
Say it, Kelsey. Say it.
What? No, I'm not saying the Diamondbacks are winning.
No, you can say it. It's okay.
I won't. I refuse to.
Jared, I'll piggyback you. I'll one up you. The Dodgers won't even make the playoffs next year because I think San Diego is actually, yes, they're getting rid of some guys, but I think that San Diego still has enough talent. But there's some of the guys they're getting rid of are like, okay, you can fuck off and stay fucked off. And the Diamondbacks can pitch really, really well. The LA Dodgers will not even make the playoffs next year after spending $1 billion. $1 billion in 2 guys. The Dodgers will not.
Anybody else think that this Yoshi dude is going to get absolutely shelled like Dice K did his first year?
It's such a fine line. Those guys come from Japan. Like some work, some do. Some guys take a year or two to really get into the mode of things. There's a lot. Like they pitch a lot. Like the thing with guys coming over from Japan, they're used to pitching more, not being used as openers per se. It's like getting 4 and 5 innings and taking 5 days off. Those guys in Japan like to pitch a lot, so this guy might not to know what he's getting himself into. He'll adjust.
Or he might have too much mileage on his tires.
He'll be okay. Like he'll get through it. But you look out that Dodger team. They, like you said, Jared, they did not fix their problems. They have one guy who can pitch because you don't know what they got after him, right?
They also have no athleticism on that team besides Mookie Betts. Like the new rules of baseball. Like,
when did you have to be an athlete to play baseball? Time out.
No. The new way baseball is played, the way the rules have shifted,
you mean hit home run
benefits you. Yeah, but if you don't hit home runs, look what happens. You get swept by a team with 84 wins.
Why do you think they brought in Shohei?
It's not going to mean shit when he goes over 3 against fucking Merrill Kelly.
I gotta say, you guys both took my backup options for the Dodgers, so I'm actually more than okay with both of these options. But I feel like I'm just sharing my bias if I say the Dodgers aren't making the playoffs.
All right, fair. Let's ask the Californian kid, Nate.
Yeah, back to the Japan thing, by the way. You have guys like Otani who have success right away, and then you have Shintaro Fujinami who signed with the A's last season for 1 year and then got traded midseason. But I digress. Anyways,
I forgot about him. Oh my God.
He was so bad. He was so bad.
Bravo,
I watched him play. He didn't last an inning and a half when I watched him play.
Shelled. Oh my God, I forgot about that debut.
God, that was terrible.
I brought up Dice K. That shows how fucking old I am. Shit.
Well, don't forget, Shohei gave up 17 runs in 2 innings 1 year?
Yeah, no, because the problem with Shohei is if you can tee off on his fastball, he's fucking done.
Yeah,
I still, we $70 million for a DH next year.
Listen,
$1 million.
I'm actually about to get their DH for like a bucket of balls. Like JD Martinez hit 48 bombs in Arizona. I'm about to take him back for nothing. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's a business. Let's agree. That was a business decision because they're going to get that money back in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
but that's nothing.
But the problem is now they got to sit on that freaking money on the payroll until Brent. I'm in my 40. I'm probably going to be putting a kid through college by the time I'm done paying that off.
Shohei just hit the lottery. That's just period.
Good on him. Like like he played by the rules and whatever. Like nothing against the Dodgers, nothing against Shohei. If somebody said, "Here's this much money," yep, take it. Done.
You give me a chance at the World Series. All right, I'll be there. I will move across town.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Crazy.
All right. We gotta move. All right, we gotta move on.
Oh,
Christy.
Nate never finished.
Oh yeah, Nate. Sorry.
Oh yeah, the A's will not finish in last place in the AL West. That's all.
I love it. I love the optimism because you know what? When the A's are good at baseball, it's honestly kind of fun.
Moneyball.
There we go. All right, Chrissy. I feel like this is someone Phil's related.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Say it, Chris. Say
Bills
it.
are gonna be world champions.
You're damn right, Chris.
Let's go.
Tell
We
him,
talk
Chris.
about the Fightins, baby.
The Fightins, baby.
Are you sure you're going to lose to Arizona in 6 again?
Dude, that was such a tough time, dude.
Wait till we get Josh Hader, bro. Instead of Craig Kimball's bum ass. Wait until we get a closer.
Oh, and he's still going to give up a home run to freaking Alex Thomas. Got it.
Listen, Jared. Listen, we had a little bit of a feud during that time. We recouped it. We've been boys ever since. But I'll tell you one thing, dude. Craig Kimbrell can croak. I hate that dude. I hate that dude. Hate that dude.
It's okay. I wanted to
dangle arm, man bun, mother.
I still want to beat. I still
God.
want to slap Paul Sewald around a few times after that home run he gave up to freaking Corey Seager. So we're in the same boat.
Look at the playoffs. What are
Fucking
those
Seager just finds a way to haunt me even after he leaves the fucking Dodgers. All right, last rapid fire quickly we get into picks. NBA. LeBron will not make the playoffs next year, and Bronny will not enter the draft after 1 year because he obviously has had setbacks. So LeBron will not make the playoffs next year for the Lakers.
I don't know if that's even a bold pick either.
Okay, fine. The Timberwolves are going to win the fucking West next year. There you go.
Okay,
There's your
that's a
bold
bold
pick.
pick because that's never going to happen.
I'm gonna go. The Milwaukee Bucks will not go to the NBA Finals with Dame Lillard.
Ooh, Nate.
I don't think the best team is.
Pistons will lose or will not win more than 15 games the rest of the way.
I'm about to pick the money line tomorrow, so do not jinx me. All right, Brent.
LeBron will win his second consecutive regular season tournament next year.
It's like the NBA version of a participation trophy.
That will, and the celebration will be epic on the streets outside of the Crypto.com arena with Bronny leading the charge with LeBron, hoisting up another in-season tournament.
Lakers second round pick Bronny James because LeBron put a gun to the bus's head.
That is embarrassing.
Literally everything
that
you said
in-season
just
tournament,
makes
that's
me think
embarrassing to have a banner and a trophy and a celebration.
LeBron is my favorite meme in the NBA by far. He's so funny, dude. You guys see the one where he's like, "Yeah, I knew Kobe was going to get 70 points," and then I said, "Why not 80?" And then, dude, he's just so funny, dude.
No, my favorite is how he ripped off like he tried to like rip off things like Tight End University and other shit. Like he tries to steal people's ideas.
Did you see the one where he's like, yeah, they were asking what was his favorite part of the book he was reading, and he's like, "Oh man, there's just so many. I just can't pick."
Dude, that's like my favorite countdown. I think me and one of the shows I had to work with here at Belly, I was doing an intro interview with them. We were talking about LeBron, and we were going back and forth for 20 minutes about our favorite LeBron memes.
Dude, he's so funny, dude. He is so funny.
So much LeBron hate from you guys. You guys never watched Ron Artest play the game.
I love Meta World Peace. You
Dude,
shut your whore mouth.
That's
Shut
a joke.
your mouth.
Anyways, here you go. Here's a bold NBA prediction. The Sacramento Kings will be in the Western Conference Finals this year.
Oh, I will totally take money on that one.
I like that. I think that could happen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I have no beer can to drink. You know what? No, I have a filter. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, presented by those amazing people at knips.com. Promo code BELLYUP 20 for 20% off. Let's crack a 6-pack. Starting it off tonight in about an hour, I believe, we have Arizona taking on Oklahoma. The freshman whose name escapes me right now to come in for Dylan Gabriel. Somebody clarify this gentleman's name for me, the Oklahoma quarterback, taking on Arizona, who honestly has been the bane of my existence betting this year. I'm not going to act like I know every single player on this fucking roster. I've watched Arizona 3 times. Every time I've watched them, they've either stolen money from me or made me at least a leg of my parlay. Give me the Wildcats to win their first signature bowl win as a football program since I believe Nick Foles was their quarterback.
Potentially. His name is Jackson Arnold.
Yes.
Not Arnold Jackson, Mr. One of those different strokes guys, but whatever, not different things. Two more guys that those guys would nobody would understand who that is, but whatever.
Listen, I have a dad who's in his 60s. I've heard of different strokes.
I watched that growing up every day. That was fantastic.
TV Land. I watched a couple episodes.
Yep. I'm going Oklahoma over Arizona here. I think we're going to see Jackson Arnold kind of set them up for the SEC. And Venables, that defense is still good. I don't care who's playing.
All right. Mr. Nate.
I'm going Oklahoma. Defense has allowed 22.3 points per game on average this year, which is 4th in the Big 12. And they should take care of this Pac-12 or former Pac-12 team now in Arizona. So give me the Sooners. Boomer Sooner.
All righty. And Chrissy.
I'm taking okay. I'm going to take Oklahoma today. Really no explanation. I just shout out Mason. I know it's his team.
All right, and Maddie, of course, took Oklahoma as well, so I'm lone dogging it for the Corner Booth boys. All right, moving on. We're going to the big games, the games that matter. College football playoff. We're going to start with the 4-1 matchup. Michigan, Bama. Last time I put this in, it was still Michigan minus 1.5. I'm going to start with our resident ex-SEC expert, Mr. Coyne.
Give me Michigan. It's two old school run teams. It's going to be a matter of which defense can step up or who has the inspiration on offense. And I don't think anybody has a bigger inspiration than Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh. Cleats and khakis himself. Whether it be because they got a free burger or not, doesn't matter. Bama's going to disappoint offensively in this one. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, though. So, yeah, give me Michigan in this one.
All right, Mr. Brent.
I got Alabama winning this one. Jalen Milroe is going to have the best athlete on the field. He's going to dominate. The Michigan's going to prove that the Big Ten is fraudulent. They can't stop a good teams about doing anything, and that's just how Michigan is. And they're not as fast. And I think that Nick Saban is going to be the X factor in this thing with Mr. Jim Harbaugh. It's just one of those. Alabama wins because they've done it before. They know how to do it, and they're going to go against a team who hasn't done it. Look for Alabama to win that game by about 10 points.
All right, Nate.
Roll Tide. I'm going Bama.
Oh, God. Just made me throw up in my mouth.
Roll Tide.
I will never say that. But
all right. All right, Burger Queen, go.
Oh, Jesus. Nice. Burger Prince, sir. No, I'm taking Bama. As Brett said, experience usually pays off. I'm taking Bama over Michigan.
All right.
SEC.
I'm channeling. I'm getting a vision. I'm getting a transmission from a certain short, angry, whiskey-drinking, mustachioed, Lego set-loving Alabama fan in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. A former co-host of mine, one of my best friends, also one of the grumpiest little bastards I know. He's telling me, Kelsey, shut up, Roll Tide.
God, you guys hear that weird squishy noises? It sounds a lot like somebody sucking a little something over on the side.
No, I just, you know what? Listen, I want
for you.
I will take a shotgun shell on this pick because Michigan has not played a rough game all year, and Alabama has been literally fighting back since they lost.
Yeah. And it's 100%. Alabama's worst team in decades, and nobody understands how bad that is and how much Nick Saban just wants this to be over. Nick Saban doesn't like mediocre teams, if anybody's missed that recently.
I would rather see Michigan win. I just don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
So I'm sick of Alabama.
Let's be honest. I still may change. Listen, this may be a situation like it was a few weeks ago where I might change my pick by the end and pick against Alabama.
No, it's solidified right now.
No, it's not. I am judge, jury, and executioner on the show
today. I am the Matt Ordazzo of this show today.
No, you're not. You are only here.
My intro.
No,
one game all season. That was against Ohio State. They didn't play anybody else all season long. Big Ten's fraudulent.
I
Hey, they don't need to be. They don't need to be great. They just have to beat one team.
I am the host. I am the. No, I was kidding. I'm not gonna do that shit.
So do I get an apology from all of you though when Michigan wins this?
100%.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we'll bring you back on the show.
Sure.
To see how
I'll send you a postcard.
In 3 to 6 weeks is when you bring me back on the show.
Maybe
Got
2.
lost in the mail.
Something like that. All right. Finally, we're going Texas, Washington. I got to go with my boys. I'm sticking with them all year. The one time I bet against them, they burned me. Give me the fucking Huskies. Give me Michael Penix Jr. I bet on them all year. They always came through for me. The one time I didn't bet on them, they burned me. I will not pick against them. They are the team of destiny this year. Now, whether they get to play the cheaters or the beaters, we're gonna find out in the earlier game. Give me Washington to take out Texas. I think Texas was the one team in this game, in this tournament, who kind of was like, "Hey, you beat Alabama, congratulations." This Texas team, besides their win over Alabama, which I swear was like sometimes felt like lightning in a jar, they didn't have a win where I'm like, okay, this is really convincing. They stomped Oklahoma State, but then again, that really wasn't saying much because look, Texas A&M, who got stomped by Miami, got stomped by Oklahoma State. Let that juxtaposition hit. That being said, the same Miami team who lost to fucking Rutgers today. Bitch ass boys. Give me Washington. And yes, I just called my favorite college a bunch of bitches.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits.
I'm not gonna argue it. I'm a pro sports guy until March. So
yeah. So there's 2 quarterbacks in this game that are fantastic in their own right. One of these quarterbacks has had everything gifted to him, including a $6 million in NIL deals.
I thought it was 6.5.
Yeah, so 6.5, whatever it is. The other one has overcome 4 season-ending injuries, potentially career-ending injuries, and throws one of the best out routes I've ever seen from any college or pro quarterback. And the other misses wide open receivers on a constant basis. I think it explains itself. I'm going Michael Penix. I'm going Washington. I think their defense can do it just enough to get one stop, because there's going to be only one defensive stop in this entire game, and we're going to have 100 points probably total in this game. But I'm going Washington here. Their offense is just too good. I don't think anybody's stopping Michael Penix and Rome Odunze on this one.
All right, sweet. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I'm still getting over a cold, so this has been a real fun episode. Yeah, being sick for all of my Christmas break was fucking terrible. All right, let's keep going. Brett.
Washington, Penix Jr., he's a statement game. Didn't give me the Heisman. Watch this. Watch what I can do. He's going to put up big points. Texas is fast. Texas can run, but I think that Washington continues their undefeated season, and they roll through. And like I said, Penix Jr. is going to have one of these, like, you know what, fuck you games, and then watch me go one of those games. Washington by, like, I think Kelsey's right. It's going to be one stop. It might be a field goal, right? One of those kind of games. 59-56 kind of a game.
Yeah.
To be fair, one of those teams that was supposed to be very physical in Oregon, Washington out-physicaled them. Just saying. So, all right, Nate.
The last time these two teams met was last year in the Alamo Bowl. Washington won 27-20. This game should be pretty close, but I think I'm going to go with the Huskies. The future quarterback of the Giants, Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, God, no,
this...
don't for me.
Poor kid.
I don't want to have to beat him twice a year.
You guys, literally, besides 2 Eli Manning lottery ticket runs, have been a garbage franchise since the 80s.
Anybody getting drafted to the Giants?
No, we need a lefty.
Year.
We need a lefty. I'm telling you what. We need a
no,
lefty.
You need an exorcism. The Maras are the worst ownership group in fucking football besides the Johnsons. Ironically, they share a fucking box.
The Joneses are still there. Let's not.
Yeah,
forget
but
about
at least you
them.
guys
They
don't
win
make
more.
the damn playoffs consistently.
Yeah, they may. Well, that doesn't mean they win anything though.
At least they make it though. See, we're trying to make it back and be consistent.
Yeah, I mean,
The Giants
I'd rather
are
lose
starting to make
almost
me question if it's
mediocre
worse
every
to
year.
be a Giants or Jets fan. And honestly, it's leaning towards the Jets.
I'd rather not hear my owner speak in the media. That's where I'm at with it.
Go Huskies, baby.
I only hear Jeffrey Lurie when he talks about the Eagles Autism Foundation. That's the only time I hear him the entire year. That's when you know we have a good owner. He never says shit.
Yeah, I wish that was the case.
All right,
I heard about his shoelaces.
Christy.
All right, I'm probably the only one that's going to do it, but I'm taking those damn Longhorns, baby. Horns up.
All right,
Just
Washington
the
won by
Utah
30.
logo.
Also, I saw Maddie took the horns too. But
I just need you, Chris. Can you stick the hand sign up again, just one time for me?
is there a picture? You taking a picture?
No. Can you just stick the hand sign up? Just one time, please.
In the screen, dummy.
Yeah. So that's the Utah hand sign. That is still the Utah hand sign. You got to spread your fingers out, my guy, like you're palming a basketball. They got to look like horns. They got to be out.
Listen, I took goddamn Texas. All right, we riding. Come on.
Okay, just like Texas A&M with that $100 million contract.
Goddamn right.
paying off.
I fudged up on the hand signal, but
Mhm.
I'm not gonna fudge up on this.
All
pick.
of Texas hates you right now.
They love me. They're like, dude, you're a genius.
All right.
You're Matthew McConaughey.
All right, we're moving on to the
all
NFL.
right.
All right, before I kick you from the all right. Lions Cowboys, speaking of friggin' Texas, the Saturday night game. I'm actually excited for this. It's gonna be a fun game. God, I'm gonna hate myself for doing this.
You're doing the same thing, huh?
Yep.
We're doing the same thing.
Wait, who'd Matt pick?
He took the boys.
Oh fuck, that means they're gonna lose.
It was always called for. Let's be honest.
Always called for. Fuck Texas A&M.
Let's go Longhorns, baby.
When you don't have actual cheerleaders, you have yell leaders, aka cult leaders. I
Yeah.
refuse to accept you as a real team.
Listen, when your entire college belongs to the Bohemian Grove, you don't get to talk.
Damn.
Us Americans who hate the government get that joke.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Jeez.
Go back
College
to your-
Station getting torched right now.
All right. Besides burning owl statues, hold on. Fuck, Chris. I
don't want to do it.
I don't either. It's
I
fucking
know.
tragic.
Dude.
That
I
made
know.
this
If it
even
was
worse.
in Detroit, I would have been like, okay.
You
I'm
know, if
taking-
Detroit lost one more game and they weren't trying to take the 2 seed from us, I would say fuck it. But and the worst part is, I swear, when I take Dallas, they're gonna lose.
I'm still doing it, even though I don't want to.
I know.
I don't know, dude.
Give me
Fuck.
the fucking Cowboys, and I'm gonna.
Fuck.
Let me show you guys how it's done. I'm taking the Lions because the Cowboys still cannot beat a winning team.
I mean, they beat the Seahawks and the Eagles.
They can't beat a real winning team.
You know, just fact, give me the Cowboys even harder. Now I hope I jinxes them.
Me too,
I'm
dude.
expecting them to lose. That's okay. You're not disappointing me. The wild card's fantastic.
Oh, I forgot. You're a self-hating. You're the Ruxin of Cowboys fans. You're self-hating.
I'm the smartest Cowboys fan out there because I just don't pick up. And if they win, I'm happy. And if they lose, I'm right.
All right, yeah. Yeah, give me the I just Cowboys are almost unbeatable at home.
Unless you're a winning team.
Fuck, I don't know.
I'm doing the same thing.
I lose either way. So yeah, give me the Cowboys. Brent.
Cowboys at home are very good. They have a little more to play for right now than the Lions do. Take the Cowboys, and eventually Detroit's going to Detroit. Take the Cowboys.
Well, Detroit also gets Minnesota next week, who is starting Jaron Hall, I think his name is. They will finish the season with 5 losses exclusively. I think the hangover from them getting their first division title since I was not even born yet should tell you something right there. Slight bit of a hangover. By the way, the line has dropped to -5.5, by the way. Nate.
Give me the Lions, I believe. I think this is where I'm not one to talk, I know, Kels, but I feel like every year this part of the season where the Cowboys start to like decline a little bit, like kind of like just, sort of just go down. So I'm gonna go Detroit, and I like Jared Goff, University of California, Berkeley. former quarterback. So I love my guy Goff.
So there is by the way, boys, there is a scenario where the Lions get the number 1 seed in the NFC.
I'm here for it.
Okay,
Really?
so yes. So the Eagles beat the Cardinals on Sunday. The Lions beat the Cowboys on Sunday. The Lions then beat the Minnesota Vikings the following Sunday. The Eagles beat the Giants. The Cowboys win. But here's the wild card. If the Niners lose either to the Commanders on a 1:00 game on Sunday or the Rams who are trying to fight for a playoff spot, they fall to the 3 seed, giving Philadelphia the 2 seed and the Lions the 1 seed.
I'm here for it.
I like it.
Fucking
I want
chaos.
If NFC goes through Detroit, that'll be wild.
Oh my God, it'd be crazy.
I'm
And then
chaos.
watch. They get the number 1. This is the most Lions thing of all time. They get the number 1 seed of all time. And they lose in the first round or second. They lose in the divisional round.
Second round, yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be the most Detroit thing of all time.
You guys are Dan Campbell haters.
No, I love. Are you fucking kidding me? I am Dan Campbell fan club number 1.
Believer. You are not a true believer.
I am a true believer. I just believe in my Eagles a little more. I think the Lions are going to catch up in their own emotion. That is why I picked against them this week. I still think they're going to be a problem in the playoffs, but I think this week they're going to catch a skid because the Cowboys are desperate and off a 2-game skid, they're coming back home, whereas the Lions just had a very emotional win where they should have lost if Nick Mullins didn't have the accuracy of a drunk cowboy. So there you go. Chrissy, you took Cowboys as well?
Unfortunately, yeah. If it was in Detroit, I mean, this game's so weird. But
And Matty, Mr. First Place Matty took the Cowboys as well.
He took Cowboys as well, yeah.
Yeah, well, he always has to pick his stepdad's team, so that makes sense. All right, or I think his actual dad is a Cowboys fan. I think his stepdad's a Giants. He's explained this to me twice. I don't know. I've met all of his parents, stepdads, dads, in-laws. They're all great people. Anyway, keep going. So, finally, this game has me intrigued.
Wow. Rave in and outs.
Ravens. The Ravens. Big Ravens game.
Listen. I copy and pasted Chris's text before, so
wait, did I type in Ravens?
I would take the Ravens and the Ravens. The Jackson's he's having a show one of those show me seasons as well. Take the Ravens. But it's gonna be a close game. The Ravens are at a point right now. They're playing obviously for the number 1 in the conference, but it's at a point now where they're going to get it. So how long do guys play? And that you're gonna see a lot of teams getting to that point right away.
No, they clinch number 1 if they win this week.
If they win, but they got 2 shots.
I think they play. I think this is the game they go all out for, Brent, because they know if they play hard this week, they can sit everyone next week. And I think that is what they see in this. So I'm going to go with you. I'm taking Lamar and the boys.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a letdown.
Well, he's been so good. Why would he stop now?
I think the loss of Keaton Mitchell is going to hurt them in the playoffs. But right now, I think the problem is the Dolphins, they struggle with physical teams. Buffalo, Oakland, Las Vegas, Philadelphia. They only beat Las Vegas because they basically have a guy with a mustache worse than like the 15-year-old at the local middle school. Like, Aiden O'Connell is not a good quarterback. Antonio Pierce deserves a freaking Pulitzer Prize for his work with that team. That being said, give me the Ravens to stomp the Dolphins. Not stomp, but at least put up have a 2-touchdown win. The Dolphins struggle with any physical team they play. I think all 3 of their losses this year, or 4 or whatever it is, are all against physical rosters. So, yeah, give me the Dolphins to lose.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens as well. This is going to be in Baltimore. It's ugly, rainy, misty weather all game. Nothing better to get you through that than a 4x4 like Gus Edwards and then their entire defense. So, yeah, easy wins. Dolphins. If this was in Miami, it's a completely different conversation.
Oh, yeah, totally.
In Baltimore,
yeah,
that stadium's built for the Ravens to win in this type of weather.
You heard it here first, folks. All right, Mr. Brent.
Ravens. 100% Ravens. Ravens win that game.
All righty.
By a lot, and then they can sit guys after the half. Get ready for playoffs.
I am with it. Nate.
Yeah, Ravens went to Santa Clara to beat the shit out of the Niners, made Brock Purdy look like a bum. And they're coming back home and face a Dolphins team that hasn't really beat a lot of good teams this year. Go on the Ravens.
Just the best division in football right now.
Man, that's a good one. That AFC North.
There you go. All right. Chrissy, round us off.
I'm going to take the Ravens as well. Lamar's been awesome. Baltimore, like you guys said, it's just a tough place to play. And the Dolphins been struggling against physical teams. So I'm going to take the Ravens.
All right. And who did our boy Mr. Ordazzo pick?
Mr. Ordazzo picked the Ravens as well.
Who was his upset pick?
The Bengals over Chiefs +7.
Wow.
See it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Jake Browning predicting the Washington win in the playoffs.
I mean, they just lost to the Raiders, so.
All right. Finally. The two teams that burn me in betting every year. I said, how about when they play each other, we'll put it in the six-pack. I made a rule never to put these two teams in the six-pack ever again unless they're playing each other because their evil cancels out. So I'll start with Chrissy and work back to me. Chris?
I want to pick the Raiders, but in reality, I'm going to take the Colts. I think they're going to have a bounce-back game this week. I do like Minshew. I think Steichen is a potential Coach of the Year candidate. I'm going to take Indianapolis at home.
There you go. Mr. Nate.
The Raiders could actually win the AFC West if they win out and the Chiefs lose out. I'm going with the Raiders. I believe in Antonio Pierce. I think we all do. Let's be honest. The way he's, coached that team up, they're gonna beat the Colts and they're gonna win the AFC West because the Chiefs look like shit because they cannot catch anything. Mahomes looks like a normal quarterback without these weapons around him, and Travis Kelce is not. He's no longer the clear best tight end in the league. Go Raiders.
All right, Brent.
Oh, maybe.
Brent?
Oh, sorry. Raiders win this game. They keep their playoff hopes alive. They win this game. I was just trying to get the belly up Christmas thing there. But they Raiders win this game.
There we go. And Mr. Kels.
Yeah, I'm going the same thing. For my fantasy team's sake, for my championship in my work league, I need Zamir White or Josh Jacobs. I don't care which one starts. I need them to go off. I have them both. One of them's going off, and they're going to win me my title.
Fair enough. All right. I got to go with the Raiders. The Colts, to me, I feel like a paradox because, one, they score points with Shane Steichen's offense, but they also find ways to lose games, and they struggle with physical teams. It's a weird mix. And the Raiders, to me, I feel like are just playing to win Antonio Pierce the job because they know with an offseason Antonio Pierce at the head coaching position, they honestly could be a decent roster next year because the Chargers are about to self-implode, the Broncos are about to rebuild, and the Chiefs – I don't actually know what to make of the Chiefs anymore. So,
there's a big blank space.
What'd you say?
They're just a big blank space right now.
I knew you were trouble. I knew they were trouble when they walked in. It's whatever.
You never get back together with them, that's for sure.
Sometimes you just got to shake off bad bets.
Jesus,
there's a lot of bad blood left over. You know what you say?
Yes, sir. Oh my God.
Earworms. That music of hers.
All right, enough with the
I got 100 plus put into an episode one time, and it was fantastic.
There you go.
Masterpiece. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for our favorite part of the episode, where me and Chris and Matt usually make complete asses of ourselves. It's time for upsets and gimmies. So, me and Chrissy did not take upsets in the six-pack. So, Chris, You are in last place. You get first election.
All right, I'm going to take it's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to take the Chargers over the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm going to take
Is that still an upset?
Easton plus 3.5. Does that work? Easton Speed Stick.
Easton Speeds. Jesus
Easton Ball and
Christ.
Stick.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, listen, that does work. I think what's the line right now?
Plus 3.5. I was
On the
this
road or at home?
on the road.
No, it doesn't count. That's even. That's
Shit.
even one. That's even money.
Shit. Okay, then this obviously won't happen at all. But I'm
You
gonna
should
take
double up on that.
I'm gonna take the Commanders over the.
Yes, let's go!
Let's
I
go.
hope this fucking hits.
Commanders roll, baby.
Oh my God.
Look, crazier things have happened.
Give me the Carolina Panthers to upset the Jacksonville frauds. Jaguars. I'm still in on the Texans winning the AFC South. I promise Hector was possible. Trevor Lawrence is questionable. Their left tackle just went on IR. They still have Brian Burns rushing the passer, Spider-Man himself. Give me the Panthers as my upset pick this week, taking out the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Marked it.
Let's go. Kelsey, you are always the sage of wisdom when it comes to upsets and gimmies. What do you got this week?
I got nothing. This week is a fraud. I don't care anymore. I'm ready to get to the playoffs. I'm tired of losing money on these upset picks that they lose because the referees screw it up.
I'm still a little bitter about that pick a couple weeks ago.
Trust me, I'm bitter about a whole season worth of picks.
So, by the way, boys,
dollars that is missing from my bank account because of this.
By the way, boys, I have had a parlay boost available. This parlay boost went from about plus 1,666 and 66 to 1,608.25 is my parlay this week.
Yeah, after the guy won that $500,000 last week, I decided I'd give myself a try at that touchdown one this week. Currently on pace for plus 500,000 odds. I put $1 on the bet. If I hit, I get 50K.
There you go.
I hope you hit, Kelsey. I hope you hit.
If that hits, he's literally paying for me and Matt's PTO to come out to the fantasy football convention.
No, I'm not. I'm not that nice.
All right, fine.
The only person's Ruth's Chris I'm not paying for is Nate's because he's in an expensive part of the country. Sorry, bud. You might get Taco Bell, though.
It's all good. I'll take it.
Bro, he's in college. Taco Bell's a delicacy. All right. Ladies and gents, it is officially almost 8:40 at this point. We got the Oklahoma-Arizona game kicking off in about 20 minutes. Me and these knuckleheads all got to stop in and make an appearance at the corner booth at the Belly Up Christmas party. Shout out to Kelsey and the boys over Hilo Sports. Kels, you want to let them know where we can find you?
Might as well. You can find us every Wednesday night live on Facebook, Twitter, X, and I guess it is Twitter, YouTube, and whatever the other one is that I can't think of, Twitch. 8 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesdays, we go live. After that, you can find our audio episodes live on Thursday mornings on any platform you search for. Also, check out Tier Tuesdays every Tuesday. DJ and I have been going through talking about the NFL season, going into the off season. We're going to change it up, and we're going to look at the just weekend sports. So we're going to have a little fun with that. And we got some more cool things lined up as well.
All right. Brent, where can we find your content to the boys up north?
The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, for Beer Sports Talk, and a whole lot more. With me, Dave and I record every Monday and Thursday night. The holiday season kind of screwed us a little bit here with the way it all turns out, but we get everything out there. And we Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. We're all over the place. So a couple of Canadians talking about a lot of stuff we don't know about. We make it sound entertaining at times.
Fair enough. All right. Nate, where can we find the backup to the backup to the backup to the backup?
You can find it on YouTube and Spotify, Backup to the Backup podcast. And we record every Tuesday. That's going to be our schedule going forward. And if you got Kareem Hunt on your touchdown parlay, Kelsey, he just scored. That's all.
Oh, Seriously?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just scored.
Kareem Hunt
Let's
scored and
go.
Brees
Christmas
Hall scored.
miracle.
I am 2 out of the 2 for tonight's game. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I am well on my way. 14 more legs to go.
Nice.
There you go. All right. You can find me and 10 beers down, 10 toes up, Blackout Chrissy, the king of Burger King, and of course, Jake Schmegglesworth, a.k.a. Swagoo, a.k.a. Mr. Homeowner, a.k.a. Mr. Matt Ordazzo, and of course, my grumpy ass. You can find us at Everything Corner Booth Pod on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and of course on Facebook. You can find me at Belly Up Jared or Corner Booth Jared and everything else because X wants to be a pain in the dick about changing my username. And of course, you can find Matt at Corner Booth Matt everywhere. Chris, of course, runs our Corner Booth X account. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have an amazing, happy, and healthy end to your new year. We wish you a happy new year for everyone here at the Corner Booth, High-Low Sports, 1420, and backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. We will see you next time in 2024. Please
Next
do not
year.
please do not drink and drive. And of course, folks, go Birds.
Go Raptors.